Assalamualaikum. I am Tala Suhail. I welcome you all to Virtual University's program on Personality Psychology. Dear students, today is our lecture number 40, and in this 40th lecture, we are going to talk about perspectives of psychology, or let's say domains or schools of psychology. We are going to try to focus on all the perspectives, all the domains which personality psychology employs in studying personality. तो जनाब बड़ी डिटेल में आपसे आज बात रहेगी पर्सपेक्टिव्स पे, डोमेन्स पे, डिफरेंट एरियाज पे, और उसमें फोकस होगा ऑफ कोर्स वी विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन पर्सनैलिटी. Dear students, before moving on with our lecture number 40th, let us recap what we did in lecture number 39. जनाब lecture number 39 में we were talking about a grand or an ultimate theory of personality. तो फोकस और सवाल आपके सामने था कि is there a grand or an ultimate or a perfect personality theory or not. सारा हमारा लेक्चर इससे डील कर रहा था. We asked and we posed a number of questions to you. Number 1, is there a perfect or an ultimate or let's say a grand theory of personality? Number 2, can a single theory of personality can fully encompass all the relevant aspects of human nature? Number 3, जितनी भी हमने पर्सनैलिटी थेरीज अभी तक पढ़ी हैं उसमें से एक बेस्ट पर्सनैलिटी थेरी कौन सी है? एंड नंबर 4, बीइंग ए स्टूडेंट ऑफ साइकोलॉजी एंड पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी, कौन सी एक थेरी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी है जिसको आप सबसे ज़्यादा ट्रस्ट कर सकते हैं? कैन इट बी सिगमंड फ्रॉइड्स थेरी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी? कैन इट बी रॉजर्स थ्योरी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी? क्या ये ऑलपॉट की थ्योरी हो सकती है, मैस्लो की हो सकती है, कौन सी? सो वी पोस्ट ए नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस टू यू. नाउ लेट मी टेक यू बैक. व्हेन वी बिगैन दिस कोर्स ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी, लेक्चर नंबर 1 में वी डिफाइन पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी फॉर यू. वी डिफाइन द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी. उसके बाद हमने जनाब बड़ी डिटेल में देखी थी कि कुछ थीम्स हैं पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी. देन इन लेक्चर नंबर 2 एंड लेक्चर नंबर 3 वी टॉक्ड अबाउट नंबर 1, मेजरमेंट ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी. व्हाट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड सब्जेक्टिव एंड प्रोजेक्टिव टेस्ट दैट वी यूज इन मेजरिंग पर्सनैलिटी. हमने बहुत डिटेल में आपसे बात की थी. और उसके बाद हमने एक बहुत ब्रीफ सा आपके साथ डिस्कशन था रिलेटेड टू पर्सपेक्टिव्स ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी. नाउ डियर स्टूडेंट्स, अप टिल नाउ वी हैव कवर्ड सम 17 पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरीज इन डिटेल विद यू. जनाब हमने आपके साथ फ्रॉइड की थ्योरी की, यूंग की थ्योरी की है, एडलर की थ्योरी की है, कैरन हॉर्नी, Erikson की. We have talked to you about Maslow's theory, Rogers theory, Murray की theory की है, Sheldon की theory, Sullivan's theory, Alport's theory, Cattell's theory, Dollard and Miller's theory, Bandura's theory, and of course there have been some other theories as well, Kelly's cognitive theory as well. So comprehensively we have covered some 17 theories with you. Now after going through all these theories, the question that students frequently ask, is there a perfect theory of personality? No, there isn't any perfect theory of personality. हरगिज ऐसा नहीं है कि एक थ्योरी को आप लेबल कर दें कि दिस इज अ परफेक्ट थ्योरी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी, चाहे वो फ्रॉइड की हो, चाहे रॉजर्स की हो, चाहे मैस्लो की हो, एल्बर्ट एलिस की हो. वी जस्ट कांट लेबल वन सिंगल थ्योरी एज अ ग्रैंड अल्टीमेट परफेक्ट true theory of personality. Question number 2. Can a single theory answer all the relevant questions related to personality domain? No single theory can fully answer all the relevant questions related to personality domain or human nature. Question number 3. All the theories that we have studied, which one is the best? All the theories that we have studied, we cannot label one as the best and others as bad or incomplete. Each theory has emphasis on one or another important thing related to human nature. Which theory can we trust as the most representative of human nature? One cannot blindly trust a single theory of personality to be representative of human nature. Is there a grand ultimate or a true theory of personality? No. Dear students, these were some of the very relevant questions that come to your mind, that come to my mind, and an answer to these questions was essential. जब हमने कहा कि there isn't a perfect ultimate a true theory of personality, तो फिर एक अच्छी पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी की क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स और क्या एट्रीब्यूट्स होनी चाहिए कि दैट शुड बी कंसिडर्ड अ गुड पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी. नाउ वी टॉक्ड अबाउट 3 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. हमने आपसे 3 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स के ऊपर फोकस किया था. अ गुड थ्योरी ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी इज वन. Number 1, which provides a guideline to the researchers. So a good theory of personality is like a roadmap. It guides the researchers how to conduct research on personality. Number 2, it organizes the known available findings. जो भी information personality domain से related available है, उसको एक organize करके उसको systematically present करना. Number 3, a good theory should be able to make predictions about personality. तो अगर ये 3 कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स, ये 3 एट्रीब्यूट्स किसी भी थ्योरी में मौजूद हैं, तो वी कैन लेबल दैट थ्योरी एज अ गुड पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी. एक्चुअली ऑल द 17 theories point to different domains or perspectives or schools of psychology. All the theories of personality are quite different, or that they belong to a different perspective, but they try to answer questions related to the following areas. Number 1, genes. Number 2, stages of development. Number 3, motivation. Number 4, learning. Number 5, perception. Number 6, traits. Number 7, emotions. Number 8, temperament and body types. Number 9, neurosis or disorders. Number 10, conscious and unconscious. Number 11, therapy. And number 12, defense mechanisms or coping strategies. An ultimate theory of personality is not possible in personality psychology, which is still a developing science, and it is not as developed as a science as biology, physics or chemistry. Dear students, हमने कहा कि personality psychology is still a developing science. It has not advanced to a level of physics, chemistry or biology, which are established natural sciences. So we can say personality psychology is still in its developmental or emerging stage. It has yet to cover many things. Students are interested in knowing whether personality psychology course is about personality theories only or about something else as well. Let us take you to lecture number 1, where we talked about the definition of personality and the objectives of personality psychology course. जनाब, आपकी तरफ से हमें सवाल मिला और वो बहुत दिलचस्प सवाल है, बहुत अहम सवाल है. वो ये है कि क्या पर्सनैलिटी साइकोलॉजी कोर्स इज ओनली रिलेटेड विथ थियरीज ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी? एंड वी लाइक टू रिस्पॉन्ड टू दिस क्वेश्चन, विच इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट वन. Let us take you back to lecture number 1, in lecture number 1, we defined what is personality, and we defined personality according to definitions given by the famous psychologists. उसके बाद जनाब हमने कोशिश ये की थी कि एक अच्छी पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी की क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होनी चाहिए और किन क्राइटेरियाज को सामने रख कर आप एक पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी को एवेलुएट कर सकते हैं, असेस कर सकते हैं. लेक्चर नंबर 2 और लेक्चर नंबर 3 में हमने फोकस किया था. लेक्चर नंबर 2 में वी फोकस्ड ऑन पर्सनैलिटी मेजरमेंट, हाउ यू मेजर पर्सनैलिटी यूजिंग ऑब्जेक्टिव टेस्ट, यूजिंग सब्जेक्टिव और प्रोजेक्टिव टेस्ट. उसके बाद लेक्चर नंबर 3 में वी फोकस्ड ऑन पर्सपेक्टिव और डोमेन्स of psychology, and then from lecture number 4 onwards we began talking about different theories of personality. Now personality psychology is not related to theories of personality only. Personality psychology course is related to number 1, defining what is personality, number 2, measurement of personality, number 3, research or empirical information that has been collected on personality, and number 4, very important, theories of personality. आपने ये जो 17 की 17 theories of personality की हैं, they belong or they cover a domain, they cover a perspective, they are important or relevant to one particular domain of personality psychology. जनाब domains और perspectives की जब बात हो रही है तो personality psychology can be studied by going through different perspectives or domains. Number 1 is the dispositional approach or domain. Number 2, biological domain or perspective. Number 3, intrapsychic. Number 4, cognitive or experiential. Number 5, social or cultural. And number 6, adjustment perspective. तो ये आपको याद रखने पड़ेंगे. बहुत आसान है, बहुत सिंपल है, और जब मैं इनसे रिलेटेड रेलेवेंट थेरीज और एम्पिरिकल रिसर्च जो हर डोमेन में हुई हुई है उसकी बात हम कर लेंगे तो आपके लिए इनको याद रखना मजीद आसान हो जाएगा. Now I have just said that there are 6 important perspectives. Using these perspectives we can study personality. सबसे पहले मैंने कहा dispositional perspective, number 2 biological, number 3 intrapsychic, number 4 cognitive or experiential, number 5 social or cultural, and number 6 adjustment perspective. Dear students, keep one very important thing in your mind. When we are doing these perspectives, we'll talk about the characteristics of each perspective. We are going to talk about the relevant personality theories that are included in each perspective. And number 3, we are going to see what empirical research has been done in a particular perspective. अब ये जो आपने 17 की 17 पर्सनैलिटी थेरीज की हैं, कीप इन योर माइंड दैट एटलीस्ट 2 to 3 personality theories belonging to each perspective have been covered by us. So these personality theories which you have covered belong to one or another area, domain or perspective of personality psychology. मसलन जनाब आपने सबसे पहले हमने की थी फ्रॉइड की थ्योरी, दैट बिलोंग्स टू द इंट्रासाइकिक पर्सपेक्टिव. आपने की है रॉजर्स की थ्योरी, आपने की है ऑलपॉट और कैटल की थ्योरी. वेल दैट बिलोंग्स टू डिस्पोजिशनल पर्सपेक्टिव. सो जहाँ पे ट्रेड्स की बात आ रही है, जहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्ट्स की बात आ रही है, so that is included in dispositional perspective. So please keep in your mind that all the 17 theories that we have done they belong to one or the other perspective of psychology. So that is why all these theories are very important. I think that after covering and fully understanding all these 17 personality theories, this is the best time and moment to begin with perspectives of psychology. ये वो वक्त है जहाँ पे आपका कॉन्सेप्ट बन चुका है सब थेरीज का, तो यहाँ पे पर्सपेक्टिव्स को, डोमेन्स को डिस्कस करना is more logical and is more important. So let us begin with these perspectives. Number one, dispositional perspective. It deals centrally with the ways in which individuals differ from one another. This domain cuts across all other domains. It tries to explore how individuals differ in their emotions, self-concepts, in physiological characteristics, and even in their intrapsychic mechanisms. जनाब पहला perspective, dispositional perspective. So this is particularly one domain, one perspective which tries to see how individuals differ from one another. So individuals differ from one another as far as their emotions is concerned, self-concepts is concerned, perception is concerned, traits are concerned. So there are a number of internal characteristics due to which individuals differ from one another, and dispositional perspective takes into account that. Dear students, I am just giving an outline of these perspectives. I am going to talk about each perspective in detail with example, but just let's have an outline of each perspective first, and then we'll go through the detail. Number two, biological perspective. Humans are first and foremost collections of biological systems, and these systems provide the building blocks for behavior, thought, and emotions. The biological approach refers to three areas: genetics, psychophysiology, and evolution. So, Janab, all of us are biological beings. We are a set of biological systems, and studying these biological systems is the main task of biological perspective. तो हम सब जो हैं वो biological living beings हैं. We are a set of biological systems, and studying these biological systems is important. और जब हम biological perspective की बात करें तो हम biological perspective को explore करेंगे with reference to number one, genetics. What is the impact of genetics on behavior, ये देखेंगे जी. Interaction of genetics and behavior देखेंगे. Number two, psychophysiology. That is the working of the brain, the working of the different biological systems. And number three, evolution. We are going to see how social psychological characteristics have evolved. So based on this biological system, how psychological characteristics have evolved. We are going to focus on that as well. Number three, the intrapsychic approach. The intrapsychic approach was founded by Freud, who assumes that human personality is formed out of conflicts between basic needs and demands of the society. Most of these conflicts are at the unconscious level and they affect our everyday behavior. जनाब तीसरा बहुत अहम perspective हमारे पास intrapsychic perspective, founded by Sigmund Freud, focuses on intrapsychic conflicts, and these conflicts they are at the unconscious level. ये वो perspective है जिसके ऊपर जिसमें आप हमने सबसे ज़्यादा theories cover की. ये वो perspective है जो सबसे controversial, ये वो perspective है जिसने सबसे ज़्यादा जिससे research generate हुई, and as a reaction to this perspective, certain theories of personality have emerged. So आप कह सकते हैं कि Sigmund Freud की theory जो है वो पहली personality theory है, and in reaction to that, a number of other personality theories belonging to other perspectives have emerged on the surface. So intrapsychic, that is a conflict that is taking place within the person. That is something inside the person that is causing the conflict, and this conflict is at the unconscious level. फ्रॉइड का सारा फोकस ही अनकॉन्शियस मोटिव्स की तरफ। Number 4, the cognitive and experiential approach. It focuses on the cognition and subjective experiences such as conscious thoughts, feelings, beliefs and desires about oneself and others. The psychological mechanisms involved in subjective experience, however, differ in form and content from one another. Then, fourth important perspective, that is cognitive experiential perspective. Your cognition, your thinking, your attitude, your belief, what impact it has on you and on others. So there would be a number of theories, we'll be talking about them with reference to cognitive and experiential perspective. बिल्कुल इसमें बिहेवियरिस्टिक मोड की जितनी theories हैं हम उनको यहाँ पे include करेंगे. आपके साथ एल्बर्ट एलिस की पर्सनैलिटी थ्योरी की थी जो कॉग्निशन के ऊपर बेस करती है, फॉल्टी नेगेटिव कॉग्निशन पे बेस करती. कैली की थ्योरी है जो कि कॉग्निशन और कंस्ट्रक्ट सिस्टम पे बेस करती है, उसकी बात करेंगे. नंबर 5, अनदर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पर्सपेक्टिव, सोशल एंड कल्चरल पर्सपेक्टिव और डोमेन. द assumption that personality not merely something that resides within the brain, nervous system and genes of the individual, rather the social and cultural context also has an important role. At the cultural level, it is clear that groups differ from one another. Fifth important perspective, that is social and cultural perspective. ये बात हमने मान ली और तस्लीम कर ली कि humans are biological beings. They possess a nervous system. They are being controlled by physiology or functioning of this nervous system, and they have got a set of neurotransmitters. ये सारे biological basis of behavior को हमने accept कर लिया. Genes are important, but then genes are not the only contributing factor. It is society, it is culture, जहाँ पे आप रहते हैं, जिसका आप हिस्सा हैं, that molds your role, that molds your personality as well. So we know that one group of people belonging to one culture differ from another group of people living in another culture. So the personality of Pakistanis would be different from the personality of Americans because the two belong to different cultures. So culture plays an important role in molding your personality. Number 6, adjustment. This refers to the fact that personality plays a key role in how we cope, adapt and adjust to events in our everyday life. Personality is linked with important health issues such as heart disease, sleep, diet and role of exercise in long life of an individual. जनाब एक बहुत अहम पर्सपेक्टिव, एक नया पर्सपेक्टिव जिसके ऊपर सारा फोकस आजकल है, and that is adjustment. How do you adjust and cope and adapt yourself to the ever-changing environment and events that are happening around you? If you are able to adapt yourself, cope with the changes that are happening around you, और ये तब होगा जब you are very particular about a very nutritious and good diet, your sleep patterns are there and you get normal amount of sleep, you are very much bothered about exercise and the importance of exercise. So if you are bothered about these things, they contribute in your good adaptation, adjustment to the stressors that are around you. और अगर आप ये सारी चीजें कर रहे हैं, you will be able to adjust to anxiety, stress that is around you. So this perspective, adjustment perspective, very important, focuses on individual's physical health, which contributes to your mental health, and that contributes that how you adjust yourself to the ever changing stressors that are there in your environment. Dear students, we have just given you an outline. Number one, of dispositional perspective, biological, intrapsychic perspective, cognitive or experiential perspective, social or cultural perspective, and of course, number 6, we have talked about adjustment perspective. Now, these 6 perspectives are important domains, important perspectives of personality psychology. Now, since we have given you an outline, let's say since you have got an exposure to it, now let's go through each perspective with a set of examples. ठीक है जी. और जब हम ये 6 के 6 पर्सपेक्टिव कर लेंगे, उनको एग्जाम्पल्स के साथ अंडरस्टैंड आप कर लेंगे, उसके बाद वी हैव गॉट एन एक्सरसाइज फॉर यू. नंबर 1, dispositional perspective. It deals centrally with the ways in which individuals differ from one another. This domain cuts across all other domains. It tries to explore how individuals differ in their emotions, self-concepts, and physiological characteristics, even in the intrapsychic mechanisms. तो हमने कहा कि dispositional perspective refers to how individuals differ from one another in regard to their self-concept, their emotions, their thinking, their beliefs. So जनाब, किस तरह एक इंडिविजुअल डिफर करता है दूसरे इंडिविजुअल से when it comes to his emotional picture, thinking patterns, self-concepts. Now let's take an example. The ways in which individual A and B differs from one another. They differ in their feelings, emotions, self-concepts, in physiological characteristics, and even in their intrapsychic mechanisms, that is traits, conscious and unconscious level, id, ego, superego. तो जनाब बात आपसे चल रही है डिस्पोजिशनल पर्सपेक्टिव्स की, और हमने कहा आपके सामने मिसाल है, देयर आर 2 individuals A and B. Now A and B differs from one another when it comes to physiological characteristics. कि आपको कितनी भूख लगती है, ए को कितनी भूख लगती है, बी को कितनी भूख लगती है, ए इंडिविजुअल का सेल्फ कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, बी का सेल्फ कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है, ए के ट्रेड्स क्या हैं, बी के ट्रेड्स क्या हैं, ए की कॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस लेवल्स पे कौन सी चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट हैं, बी के कॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस लेवल्स पे व्हाट थिंग्स आर इम्पोर्टेंट. एंड इवन इन द इंट्रासाइकिक कंपोनेंट, चाहे वो कॉन्शियस अनकॉन्शियस हो, चाहे वो इड, ईगो, सुपर ईगो हो, individual A differs from individual B. Let's take another example. Individual A is shy, timid, reserved, loves to stay at home. He is calm and less talkative. Individual B is bold, outgoing, loves to go to party. He is moody, reactive and talkative. जनाब हम आपसे बात करें dispositional perspective की. We have taken another example. We have again taken 2 individuals, individual A and individual B, and we see that there are differences between individual A and individual B. Individual A is very shy, timid, and individual B is outgoing, moody, and he is very talkative. So we see that even in overt characteristics as well as in intrapsychic characteristics, conscious, unconscious, id, ego, superego, individuals differ from one another. और इन चीज़ों को, इन सब चीज़ों को कवर करता है dispositional perspective. Another example, individual A is hardworking, honest and completes his assignment in time. Individual B is lazy, he is rarely honest and never completes his assignment. Now again we have taken an example, and in this example we are focusing on certain traits and certain characteristics. हमने कहा इंडिविजुअल ए जो है वो बहुत हार्ड वर्किंग है, ऑनेस्ट है और अपना हर काम जो है वक्त पे मुकम्मल करता है. इंडिविजुअल बी जो है वो बहुत लेजी है, डिसऑनेस्ट है, ही रेयरली कंप्लीट्स एनीथिंग ऑन टाइम. So we have taken certain personality characteristics, and on the basis of these personality characteristics, we are trying to explore the differences that exist in individual A and individual B. Second perspective, biological perspective. Humans are first and foremost collections of biological systems, and these systems provide the building blocks for behavior, thought and emotions. The biological approach refers to three areas: genetics, psychophysiology and evolution. जनाब दूसरा अहम perspective हमारे पास, that is the biological perspective. We are biological creatures, we are biological beings, we are a collection of biological systems, and these biological systems have to be studied under three headings: genetics, psychophysiology and evolution. Now, as far as our genes are concerned, as far as our psychophysiology or functioning of nervous system, neurotransmitters, cardiac activity, और जनाब जितनी आपकी whether you sleep at night or you are awake for whole of the night or you sleep during the daytime, so all of these things are covered in psychophysiology and evolution. How a set of traits or characteristics have evolved within you on the basis of certain biological characteristics. So, dear students, biological perspective is focusing on genes, psychophysiology and evolution. So, let's take some few examples. Genetics. The genes of individual A and B differs from one another. Individual A is tall, fair and plump with straight black hair, blue eyes. Individual B is medium, tall, brown and lean with curly red hair and green eyes. Now, we have taken two individuals, individual A and individual B, and we have focused only on genes. And we have seen that it is because of genetics that the physical appearance of individual A and individual B differs from one another. That is, one is tall, fair and plump with black straight hair, and the other one is medium height, tall, brown, lean and has got curly red hair with green eyes. So, genes are responsible for your physical appearance and characteristics. Take another example. Physiology. The physiology or function of brain or peripheral nervous system leads to differences in personalities of individuals A and B. Individual A is pushy, aggressive and rude, and individual B is calm, polite and pleasant. बात आपसे हो रही है जनाब फिजियोलॉजी की, और उसमें हमने कहा it is physiology refers to the working of peripheral nervous system, or peripheral nervous system is directly controlling the secretion of certain hormones which are responsible for aggressive, non-aggressive behavior for certain behavioral patterns. हमने देखा दो individuals हैं. Individual A is pushy, aggressive and rude. On the other hand, individual B is calm, polite and pleasant. The physiology leads to the development of a specific type of personality such as type A person and type B person. The message is that if you have a heart problem, blood pressure, partly you yourself is responsible for it. So, modify your style of life. Diet, exercise and relaxation or meditation is needed. तो जनाब बात आपसे हो रही है बायोलॉजिकल पर्सपेक्टिव की, और हमने ये कहा कि बेस्ड ऑन जेनेटिक्स, बेस्ड ऑन फिजियोलॉजी, वर्किंग ऑफ योर बॉडी लीड्स टू अ टाइप ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी, टाइप ए पर्सन और टाइप बी पर्सन. और इफ यू हैव अ ब्लड प्रेशर और हार्ट प्रॉब्लम, तो कहा यह जाएगा, मैसेज आपको ये मिलेगा कि यू योरसेल्फ इज partly responsible for it. You got to modify your style of life, you got to modify your diet, you got to have exercise, relaxation, meditation and got to modify yourself in order to lead a healthy life. So, genes and physiology leads to a type of personality. Third perspective, the intrapsychic perspective or approach was founded by Freud, who assumes that human personality is formed out of conflicts between basic needs and demands of the society, and most of these conflicts are at the unconscious level, and they affect our everyday behavior. Janab, Sigmund Freud is the founder of intrapsychic perspective or approach, where the focus is that there is a conflict between basic needs and the norms of the society. Now, basic needs include all your biological motives, all your id impulses. Now, these id impulses have to be satisfied within the societal norms, within the standards set by society. So, on one side is the id demands, and on the other side is the superego demands, societal demands. The ego has to mediate between the two. The ego has to, let's say, without exaggerating the conflict between id or superego, got to have a middle way to satisfy the needs of the individual without exaggerating, without escalating the conflict between id and superego. Now, basically, this intrapsychic conflict, which is between id, ego and superego, is at the unconscious level. So, basically, this perspective is there. Let's take an example. The personalities of individual A and B differ due to different childhood experiences, pleasant or unpleasant, and the conflicts between basic needs and societal demands, that is intrapsychic conflict between id, ego and superego. Example number 2, the personalities of individual A and B differ due to different childhood needs that emerged at different stages of development. Individual A is a nail biter. He sucks his thumb, is usually dirty and messy. Individual B is the exact opposite of individual A. इंट्रासाइकिक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट के बारे में बात आपसे हो रही है और हमने उसमें दो इंडिविजुअल्स की मिसालें ली हैं. इन एग्जाम्पल नंबर 1 वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन द नीड्स ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल्स. We say that the two individuals A and B have got different personalities because of the different childhood experiences that they have gone through. One individual has gone through pleasant set of childhood experiences, so he has grown or developed into a healthy adult mature individual. The other has gone through some unpleasant childhood experiences and that has led to a faulty personality development. दूसरी तरफ हमने आपसे बात की कि individual A and B has developed fully into mature by passing through psychosexual stages of development. Now, individual A is a nail biter. He sucks his thumb, is very messy, is very dirty, is least organized, and individual B is the exact opposite of individual A. So, that again is an example from intrapsychic perspective or approach. Example number 3. Individual A helps other, does charity work, is polite and humble, so is controlled by instinct of eros. Individual B is abusive, aggressive, violent, damages things, is controlled by instinct of thanatos. Now, it was Freud who was talking about instincts, eros and thanatos. So, we see there are two individuals, one being controlled by the instinct of eros and the other being controlled by instinct of thanatos. So, that is another way individual may differ from one another. Fourth perspective, the cognitive or experiential approach. The cognitive or the experiential approach, it focuses on the cognition and subjective experiences such as conscious thoughts, feelings, beliefs, and desires about oneself and others. The psychological mechanisms involved in subjective experience, however, differ in form and content from one another. Janab, fourth important perspective, the cognitive or the experiential perspective. Now, we say that individuals differ from one another as far as their thinking is concerned, their beliefs are concerned, their attitudes are concerned, their perceptions are concerned, or let's say their construct system is concerned. That is, what sort of concept or constructs that they use to observe or to view reality or things or events that are happening around them. So what sort of construct system, what sort of attitude, thinking patterns do you possess? That is going to color your cognition, your beliefs. Let's take an example. Example 1. Two individuals, say A and B, living in the same room, look out of the same window one fine morning and the images on their retina is identical. Yet individual A says, what a beautiful day, while individual B says, what a dull and boring day. Misal आपके सामने, that there are two individuals living in the same room, they look out of the window one fine morning and the same image is formed on their retinas, but surprisingly, individual A says, what a beautiful day, and individual B says, what a dull, boring and monotonous day. What's so pleasant about it? So the thing is that they are using a different set of cognitions, a different construct system to view reality or things or events that are happening in front of them. So the construct system that you employ or you use is important. Let's take another example. Example number 2. Two students attend the same lecture. Individual A thinks it was interesting, novel and pulled his attention, while individual B thinks it was dull, boring and nothing new to offer. So again, two individuals A and B, they attend the same lecture. For individual A, it's very interesting, it has something new to offer to him. For individual B, it's very dull, boring and it has nothing new to offer to him. So we say basically your construct system, your thinking, your cognition color your perception, how you view things. Let's take another example. Example number 3. Two individuals are asked to choose a book according to their liking to read or select a movie of their choice to watch. Individual A chooses a classic tragic novel or a film. Individual B chooses a comic book or a comedy film. So again we have got two individuals and both individuals are provided with an option to select a book or a movie of their own choice or liking. Now individual A goes for a classic tragic novel or a film and individual B chooses a comic book or a comedy film. So the difference lies in how you view things, what sort of cognition do you have. So your cognition is important. And the fourth perspective covers the cognitive experiential approach. Number 5, social and cultural perspective. The assumption that personality is not merely something that resides within the brain, nervous system and genes of the individual, rather the social cultural context also has an important role. At the cultural level, it is clear that groups differ from one another. So, fifth perspective, it focuses on the social cultural perspective. हम हरगिज ये नहीं कह रहे कि genes, biology, genetics, physiology, evolution is not important. Nervous system is not important. Neurotransmitters are not important. We are not saying it. But we certainly are saying that genes contribute to personality development. Similarly, culture and society also contributes equally significantly in the personality development. And that is where the social cultural perspective comes in. Let's take an example. Example number 1. My personality or your personality has developed as a result of genes and culture. The differences in the personality of males and females are due to social or cultural expectations. जनाब, मेरी personality और आपकी personality दोनों जो हैं, they have been molded or they have been influenced by genes as well as by culture and society. So genes as well as culture and society contribute equally in the personality development. Second important thing, the differences in the personalities of males and females is also due to social or cultural expectations. We expect the males to behave in a particular way. We expect the females to behave in a particular way. So, culture or society not only molds your personality, it also molds your personality with reference to your gender, with reference to your sex. Let's take an example. Example number 2. The personality of a Pakistani student is the result of genes, society and culture. So parents, teachers, peers, leaders, books, media molds the personality of Pakistani students. So when it comes to personality development, I say that the personality of a Pakistani student is being molded by genes, by culture, by society. So its parents, its teachers, its books, its leaders, its computer, its internet, it's all the areas of socialization equally contribute in the personality development of a Pakistani student. Number 3, personality of a university teacher or a student. Now the personality development of a university teacher or a student is the result of interpersonal situations or events that are taking place in a culture or society. Now the personality development of a university teacher or a student is the result of interpersonal interactions or events that are taking place. So your interpersonal relations or the events that are taking place between you and your parents, teachers, peers, friends, religious political leaders or celebrities. So your personality is going to develop as a result of this interpersonal situations or events that are taking place. Number 6, the adjustment perspective or approach. This refers to the fact that personality plays a key role in how we cope, adapt or adjust to events in our everyday life. Personality is linked with important health issues such as heart disease, sleep, diet and the role of exercise in long life of an individual. So your personality plays a very important role, how you cope, adapt and how you adjust to different events in your life. So it's very important that personality is linked with certain very vital and important health issues. और वो हेल्थ इश्यूज रिलेट करते हैं आपकी डाइट के साथ, वो इश्यूज रिलेट करते हैं एक्सरसाइज के साथ, डिजीज के साथ, प्रॉपर स्लीप के साथ. सो डियर स्टूडेंट्स, वी आर टॉकिंग टू यू अबाउट पर्सनैलिटी एंड हाउ पर्सनैलिटी इज रिलेटेड विद इम्पॉर्टेंट हेल्थ इश्यूज. पर्सनैलिटी प्रॉब्लम्स कैन बी स्टडीड इन रिलेशन टू पर्सनैलिटी डिसऑर्डर्स एंड एडजस्टमेंट प्रॉब्लम्स ड्यू टू ओल्ड एज और रिटायरमेंट. Dear students, we are talking to you about adjustment perspective और हमने ये कहा कि personality plays a very important role how you cope and how you adapt and how you adjust to different events in your life. जनाब बात कुछ यूँ है कि there are pleasant events in your life and there are unpleasant events in your life. Pleasant events के साथ तो हम सब बहुत अच्छी तरह adjust करते हैं. What about the unpleasant events in your life? There are certain personality disorders which are related with adjustment. There is a very important issue and that relates with old age problems and retirement that an individual faces, and that also leads to adjustment problems. So dear students, we are talking to you about adjustment problems. हमने कहा unpleasant events हैं जिंदगी में, such as there's divorce, there's death, there's failure, you got to adjust to it. Then there are certain disorders that an individual faces, physical disorders, mental disorders, you got to adjust to them. And number 3, there's an old age problems and a number of issues related to your health when you get old, and a very important issue related to age is retirement. So how you make adjustment with your life related to physical health problems, mental health problems, related to retirement. Let's take an example. Example 1, we have got two individuals, say individual A and individual B. And individual A's style of life includes healthy diet, no junk food, regular exercise and relaxation or meditation. Individuals B's style of life includes unhealthy diet, no exercise, no relaxation, no meditation. Example number 2, we have got two individuals, say individual A is pessimistic and individual B is optimistic. Both are told by their doctor that they have got high blood pressure and diabetes. Individual A is pessimistic, he will be depressed and sad and label himself as a patient. And individual B is optimistic, will make a diet chart, will be particular about his medicines and take regular exercise. So जनाब, adjustment problems, दो examples आपके सामने. So how you adjust to different physical health problems, mental health problems, old age problems, retirement problems. So dear students, personality is very important, and the type of personality is important. The way an individual copes, adapts and adjusts, make adjustments to different events in his or her life. Dear students, that brings us to the end of our lecture. Today we have talked to you about 6 important perspectives of personality psychology: dispositional perspective, biological perspective, intrapsychic perspective, cognitive or experiential perspective, social and cultural perspective, adjustment perspective. I hope you have enjoyed listening to it as much as I have enjoyed talking to all of you. Please go through the PowerPoint slides and the Word document that is available on the web page of Personality Psychology, and do write to us, do keep in touch if you have a question. We would love to respond to your question. Take very good care of yourself. Up till our next lecture, it is Khuda Hafiz from Virtual University Studio.